What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Ripple. I want to go over some of the data points and break it down on what is really moving it higher. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Ripple sitting at $2.19, up 6.44% over the last 1 day. Volume sitting at 8.61 billion. So that's been one thing I've brought up over the last couple of videos that is a little bit of a concern. It's a lower volume, but with this, it does signal that at least some whales are starting to get in. At the same time, if we kind of pop over here and look at some of the liquidations, it does show that shorts are starting to return. Not a massive squeeze or something like that happened, for instance, on March the 1st, but you are seeing essentially shorts worried about the future because there's been a lot of things that's been kind of looming over the both equity and crypto markets, and that's just been tariff fears, inflationary fears, and somewhat as well just the grayness of the broader market. But there's been some pretty big updates over the last 24 hours. So Canada did hit the states with a 25% levy on electricity. That caused a lot of uncertainty, and that's what caused, for instance, crypto and Ripple to go down to like $1.92. That, as of right now, has been taken off the table by Canada. So kind of have that fear gone. And then in addition to that, most likely over the next 48 hours, it is estimated that there is going to be peace in Ukraine. First time in roughly 4 years or whatever else. So yeah, that is a huge boost to the broader market. And we have data coming out tomorrow, CPI, on Wednesday. And if better than anticipated, that will rectify the whole inflationary fear that's been looming over the last 2 weeks. So when it comes down to that, you'll see Ripple and many other cryptos really moving higher because it's pretty basic. I know I've brought this up in the past, but there's two main things that really causes crypto to move higher: people's appetite for risk and consumers' buying power. So with all this fear starting to be somewhat taken off the table, you could see a very aggressive push higher. Again, if CPI does come out better than anticipated, then you could see a very nice push higher. At the same time, you'll have whales really getting in, and that's where shorts will probably have a little bit more of a squeeze mentality. But even just looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, a lot of the big names are all moving up. So people are focusing on just utility right now. Fear and greed index is under the extreme fear category, so 15, so the lowest it's been in the last 2 years, but I anticipate this to update fairly soon and probably get to roughly the 17, 18 once again, like I said, with a lot of that good volume. And aside from that as well, with a lot of the fears subsiding, then this should in theory move higher. But right now with it at $2.19, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So right now $1.83 is a strong support, and then flip side $2.32 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So I feel leading up to CPI tomorrow, we should have a nice push to this point, and then if positive, then this is where you'll see roughly around between this R1 and pivot, or more specifically around this R1. So you'll see a very nice push higher. And then of course PPI coming on Thursday for data points, then that'll just escalate the push higher. So yeah, it's an exciting time. I do feel that Ripple is going to really take over Bitcoin for dominance in the foreseeable future. And even aside from that, there's a lot of big catalysts coming out for Ripple that are reasons that you need to dollar cost average and buy in among itself. So I know I kind of talk on a lot of the data points and what's affecting it like right now, and I don't really bring up like, let's say, the future catalysts, but there's a lot there. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more videos on Ripple going forward. So let me know your thoughts on that. Give yourself a shout out if you've been buying, if you've been selling, and what you have been doing. So with all that, appreciate all of you watching. If you're looking to talk about crypto, pop over to my Discord. It is completely free. A lot of good people loving to talk about crypto, stocks, options, everything else. So with that said, appreciate all of you watching.